Hello world, welcome back to Accelerate and welcome to what's arguably the most usable supercar.
Yeah, now this is the Porsche 911, but more specifically, it's the 997 Carrera 4S.
Yes.
Yeah, now don't worry guys, this ain't becoming an actual Porsche channel.
No, but we cannot turn down opportunities like this to drive a 911, especially because Kenny actually owns a Porsche.
Yes, I do.
But let's get stuck in. The Porsche 911 is one of the most recognised cars throughout history, from the 50s, whenever they were released, the 50s, 60s onwards. They've got one of the most iconic designs, and one of the main things of that is the round headlights and obviously the swoop-in shape of the rear due to the rear engine positioning. The 996 generation, which was the generation before this, was often considered by Porsche enthusiasts as Porsche really dropping the ball. First of all, with the styling. As I said, one of the most iconic design features was the round headlights. On the 996 generation, they came out with what was known as the fried egg headlight, which didn't go down well with Porsche enthusiasts.
This is the reason I didn't buy a 986.
Yes, yeah, because you were looking at the 986 boxes, obviously carried on with that generation as well. And the unbelievable unreliability that came of the 996. Apparently, they were known to be not the most reliable. So Porsche really had their work cut out for them when they were coming up with the next generation, which is this, the 997. And much to all the Porsche enthusiasts' relief, they went back to their iconic circle headlight designs, and it did actually improve on a lot of the reliability issues, should we say.
I wouldn't say a lot. Maybe some people are very scared of buying the 997 generation, obviously due to people scaremongering.
Do you want to elaborate on that a bit?
Well, more specifically on this generation 3.8 and this year, ball scoring.
That's a big topic among Porsche enthusiasts. First of all, explain to the people what ball scoring is in a nutshell.
I was just going to say, basically, obviously you've got your balls, your pistons, they actually score the liners. So yeah, you do get a lot of issues with these on cylinder 5 and 6.
That's crazy.
I know it is, but I've done quite a lot of research on this. Now I know a lot of people are scared of it, but yeah, from what I can gather, it's like 2 to 5%. Which is very, very low. Again,
like you said, scaremongering, the internet is a crazy thing once stuff gets on the internet and on the Porsche Owners Club.
So
that's
basically
what we're saying, what we've said before is don't let it put you off. There are now, Kenny was saying, there's actually ways that you can get people to inspect the car before you buy.
Yeah, now if you're buying it off a genuine person who's got nothing to hide, they will have no problems with this. If you say to someone, I'm bringing someone to check for ball scoring, and then they say, no, you're not doing that, then yeah, walk away.
That's a red flag anyway.
Exactly, yeah. Now I know they have IMS bearing issues.
That was going to be my next credit. If you know anything about Porsche, you will hear IMS. What is IMS?
Once again, it's the intermittent shaft bearing.
Intermediate shaft bearing,
Intermediate, sorry. Yes, but yeah, basically, once again, it's a very, very low percentage that fail. So once again, don't be scared by it.
Yeah, but the main thing we want to figure out today is it worth buying? To join us out on the road in the 911. Any conversation that involves Porsche, you will hear a lot of numbers thrown around. I'll try not to bore you guys, but to get to the nitty-gritty of it, just so you sort of know what we're on about. This is the 997.1 generation. So it is a 911. I think that's what confuses a lot of people.
Yeah.
It is a 911. The 997 is the generation, and the dot one is sort of the pre-facelift.
Yeah, it is basically. It's the first generation of these years, because this actually, the 997 runs from 2005 all the way up to 2013. So obviously they did revise the generation halfway through.
Yeah.
So yeah, that hence the 0.1, 0.2.
Yes. So I hope that's cleared some things up.
Yeah, maybe.
So when you finally wrap your head around that, you've then got to wrap around what the different models are. Now, specifically, this is the 4S. Now, am I right in saying the S is sort of the better version than the normal?
It is, yeah. You got, obviously, we're going to start from the top. You got the 911 Turbo, the 997 Turbo. So the one below that then is the Carrera 4S.
Which is what we're in now.
Which is what we're in now. Now, this shares the same body as the Turbo model, hence the big wide arches on the rear. So
the 2S is the narrow body, which a lot of people think, oh, they just swapped the two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, but I mean, it's got the different rear arches and everything like that.
Yeah.
Going from that, then you've got your. Is the 2S no? You've got a base Carrera then.
You have got just a base Carrera, yes.
Right. So this one specifically is a 3.8, 355 brake horsepower, 295 foot-pound of torque, which is around 400 Newton meters. All delivered from a beautiful naturally aspirated flat 6 configuration.
Yeah.
Now,
sorry, I did want to say as well, a lot of people that may think those numbers. Supercar, the way Porsche puts the power down, it's hard to explain. It feels so different to everything else.
Yeah. Well, I was going to mention that when we get out on the road properly. So the S over the normal sort of Carrera, so we've got your 3.6, which I believe there's about a 30 horsepower difference. So again, 3.8, if you do the nerdy analytics, there's actually a better specific output on the 3.8, so they really put in the work from the 3.8 to the 3.6. Yeah. Which I'm so looking forward to getting out on the road. Now, one thing you did mention, one thing we mentioned in the intro, the most usable supercar. Now, the term supercar seems to be a bit subjective.
It really is, yeah. Now, what would you define it as? Because obviously you think of Ferrari straight away, Lamborghini, blah, 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 blah. No, this is a 911. So.
Yeah, a lot of people don't consider this a supercar, I think, because it's too good, it's too practical, it's too comfy.
You're probably right there.
Because what defines a supercar, we could go on and on and on. Let us know what you guys think, what defines a supercar. To me, this is a supercar because of the performance, because of the presence. I don't know what defines a supercar, but to me, that's how this car makes you feel.
Well, it is. I think as well, especially in these generations, most things sub 5 seconds, possibly classed as supercar.
Yeah.
You know,
but then an Audi RS6, would you consider that a supercar?
No.
See, the argument goes. I'm not, but the argument goes on and on.
Yeah.
So we're not here to debate that, but I consider this the most usable supercar, and we're not the only ones that consider that.
No, that's right. Performance-wise, do we mention that? Obviously, 0 to 60, 4.8 seconds.
Which is mad.
Yeah, exactly, especially for 2006 and NA as well.
Yeah, I think we should address the elephant in the room. Yes, this is an automatic.
Yes.
And being this generation, most people think, oh, PDK. Unfortunately, Porsche's later models were the PDK, and I think we can all agree, absolute phenomenal gearboxes.
Yeah.
This is a traditional torque converter 5-speed. The part that we've certainly been looking forward to. Let's see what she pulls like.
So that's from 2K. 4,000.
Oh, it's weird. It came alive then.
As I said, they don't feel lightning quick when you look at the speedo.
Wow. Right, so I'm going to give my analogy as a passenger. Torque converters, as we all know, they're there to kill the fun. I like to call them the transmission police. They're there to make sure everything is nice and safe. They do sap the power.
Yeah.
But my God, much like your Boxster, come forth. I knew exactly when you were 4,000 RPM without looking, because it gives you a kick. It pulls so strong, and the thing that gets me with these bigger capacity Porsche engines, it kept pulling. You go into a higher gear, higher RPM, it's kept pulling. This thing does not want to stop pulling.
They don't, and see, I just feel the grip as well. I know it's not, it's all-wheel drive, but I know it's not obviously 50-50 distribution, but you can just feel it trying to, it's pushing itself along, but you can also feel it, trying to grab and trying to pull itself along. The brakes actually work really, really well as well. I got to be honest, I quite like those.
They do fit bigger brakes to the S, again, as opposed to the base Carrera, which is a big deal apparently.
Yeah, well, this is it. No, I'm pretty sure these do share the same brakes as my Boxster. forgive me if I'm wrong. But
I'm sure someone will correct this.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they look the same, so that's what matters. But no, honestly, even brake feel, this does feel a lot better than the Boxster. But yeah, power-wise, sorry, going back to that, doesn't feel that quick, does it?
No, this is my issue, and I said I'll try and be honest, and I was honest in your Boxster. The thing with these cars that you brushed on, they don't feel dramatic, and for me, that's a bit of an issue as a weekend car, because I want something that gives me the excitement.
Yeah.
And Porsches, because they're so well designed, because they're so refined, they don't give you that thing. And that's not saying that when you look down at the dash, you're not going quick, because you are.
Exactly. Now that was the thing. You know, we were pushing very, very good speeds then. Yeah. And I didn't feel like we were doing that at all. Do you know what I mean?
Which is probably a bad thing, because I imagine it would give you a bit more confidence you probably should have sometimes.
I've never obviously hit that sort of speed. I don't even think in the Evo I hit that sort of speed up through there. And this just seemed to hit it quite easily. Do you know what I mean? And like you said though, just less dramatic.
Yeah.
So for an automatic,
do you know, for someone who just wants a nice car, who wants to be sort of like, doesn't want something as extraordinary and extra as a Ferrari, but likes class, likes to let people they know they're into cars, but wants a comfy drive. It absolutely does.
And this is the thing, and I think you also got to remember that this car is like 17 years old. So
it does not look it.
It doesn't look it.
Take that number plate off.
This is the other thing I was saying to there. You know, if it had a private plate down, you wouldn't know what year this is. Because
people would think this was an 80 grand car.
Exactly, and Sean literally gave us the keys, so thank you very much to him.
I love that we're at the point where people have thrown us the keys to the 911 for the day and just like, bring it back whenever you're ready.
But what I have noticed is I was driving this earlier and it was quite lazy and quite the rest of it. But when you put it into sports mode, the gearbox really comes to life.
Already, it's like, right, let's go.
It wants to go, and I had left it in sport earlier on accident, and I was like, oh, why is it doing that? And what the? It's a different car in sports mode. Just want to see how it turns in.
Wow, that noise.
I mean, it's holding the red.
Yes.
You know, it's
that was a completely different car.
It does transform it, doesn't it? And I think that's his little party piece, let's say.
Yeah.
Because you're driving in, it's like, oh, this sucks. I mean, it's lazy and all the rest of it. And it's sitting over 3K now.
It's
and
still
it's
like, come on, what are you waiting for? Let's
go. It wants to go. I'm doing 30 miles an hour, and it's like, let's go. You know, like, we got more than that. I want to chuck it into this corner. I love this corner. Whoa, I wasn't expecting that.
That's the only thing I don't like about autos.
Yeah.
God, the four-wheel drive coming out of a corner, man.
It's amazing. And the car feels actually a little bit unbalanced.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's say you've got all the, again, for those that don't know, Porsche, a lot of people know mid-engine cars. These are rear. That is, the engine is behind the rear axle. That's a lot of weight to be slinging, like a pendulum effect almost. That's exactly what
it felt like then, because I come into that corner.
Even with the four-wheel drive.
Corner. Yeah, even with the four-wheel drive. Don't get me wrong, it corrected itself.
Okay,
I mean, I could feel it trying to step out, and you could feel the weight shifting, but you can also feel the car sorted out for you.
So this is my first time in the driver's seat of a 911. Not a Porsche, thanks to you.
Yeah.
But so, Sean, first of all, massive thank you for trusting me with your 911. And as I said in the Boxster video, if you guys have ever been near a Porsche, any Porsche of this generation, you'll be very familiar. But I do want to say, the 996, the generation before this, was always slated for the absolute bland interior, considering the price hike to the previous generation.
Don't get me wrong, like I said, it's the same as like this, any generation of this Porsche. It's not exciting, but it's very functional and it just works, doesn't it?
That's what the Germans do best. They're not trying to excite you and change it, they just want everything to work.
They're not Italian.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a way to say it, isn't it?
That is what they do. Right, I'm going to go right into sport mode because I want to see it. I won't launch it because it's not my car, but we'll go hopefully from first. Yep. That's definitely first. So it's still in?
Yeah. Nope, that's got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Alex. Wow. Again, took it out of sport. That felt like a completely different car to when you booted it. It went from first. Four-wheel drive makes it very undramatic, like we've said, but my God, I looked down and I didn't think I was going that fast. So I'm going to put it in manual mode. On the first pull, it was in auto, and I'm going to try these rather odd Tiptronic buttons. Oh, man, that lows. Again, because of the torque converter, it feels a bit light on the front.
Yeah?
When it was...
That's all that weight on the rear then.
That's probably, yeah, initial reaction then, I was expecting, again, I think I'm comparing it to yours.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be a bit more direct going into the corner. It's very strange using buttons instead of paddles. I think
it doesn't feel right, does it?
No, it's taking a lot of my brain capacity, that is. But you say, okay, when you get into it, it's, yeah, that nose, man, it's not as...
power though, isn't it? Pulling you off the hill.
It's got, like, this is a steep hill, it's got the muscle.
Yeah, one thing I did want to point out when we were on about earlier, obviously relating to the supercar thing, this, well, practicability of this.
Practicality?
Practicality.
Kenny's making it words now as well.
Do you know what, we just had a couple of really close encounters, not with aliens, with Fiestas, and we were both really, it shook us up a bit.
So one thing we've we've learned is when you're in a Porsche, everyone seems to want to prove that their car is better, and it's usually 2 encounters we've had with a Fiesta and a Mini.
And they wasn't even anything special.
Yeah, saying it's better than your Boxster in some aspects. There's positives and negatives to both cars.
It is, exactly, and I've said to you, I absolutely love the Boxster. I've owned some mad things. I've owned M3s, AMGs and stuff, and I gotta be honest, I put so many miles on that Boxster. I love the Porsche thing, and I probably won't go away from that now. I think I'm converted, I really am, and I would just want to say as well, this is way better than Dean's M3. Dean's
M3 is way better,
way better.
Just kidding, guys.
I'm not kidding.
No, but we're not saying it's better than an M3, just Dean's one.
No, we're just taking a biggest, but yeah, we're not biting.
That was the 997 Carrera 4S, and I would 100% agree that this is an everyday supercar.
It's so usable, and I know we were slagging the gearbox off quite a bit. However, yes, we are manual guys, but for an everyday car, it's really not that bad, is it? It's
horses for courses, like I said. I completely understand, and I think people need to be a bit more open-minded with that. It's all down to what the person wants as an everyday car. Now, you can prove this because you drove it up here, having an auto.
Well, I was sat in a bit of traffic as well, so it's, absolutely brilliant. Like, my clutch is quite heavy in my Boxster, so obviously to have an automatic just for everyday driving, it's brilliant. And you cannot fault it in that sense.
Yeah, and the full package, it is a Porsche, it is a 911. You can see why they're so popular.
Obviously with the all-wheel drive system on this as well, fantastic.
Not taking anything away from it. It handles,
as you said, in the snow, everything, you can just use it all the time.
If as an everyday car, the 4S, again, this is not the spec I would choose. I would have the 2S in a manual, but the 4S in an auto is an everyday car. You could drive it all year round, no matter what. There's nothing stopping you.
Exactly, and the power and everything on this is brilliant. I'd love to experience a turbo.
I was just going to say, although we're not a Porsche channel, I'm even getting into the Porsche thing now. So thank you so much to Sean for giving us the keys to the day. Hopefully we will be having some more Porsches on in different guises, because there's many more.
Yeah, we have been offered a Cayman S.
We have got many other cars lined up, don't worry, guys.
Yes.
But for now, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Ooh. Does it feel like driving a proper Porsche?